Sonlin and Herwig Konings are founding partners of Security Token Group. All opinions expressed by them or guests on this podcast are solely their opinions and do not represent the views of Security Token Group or its subsidiaries. You should not take any opinion expressed on the show as a specific inducement to make a particular investment or follow any investment strategy. This podcast is for informational purposes only.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to this week's episode of the Security Token Show, episode 118. We're back and better than ever with all of your security token news. We're here in sunny Miami, Florida. I, of course, am your host, Kyle Sonlin, joined by my co-host, Herwig Konings.
What's up, tokenizers?
And we have an amazing episode for you today, covering all the news, institutional moves, what's going on in the trading sector, everything else. But I wanted to give you a quick shout out on the Security Token Market Crowdfund. As you may know, we are doing a crowdfund. We're in the Testing the Waters campaign now, which means that anybody can sign up, register their interest to get more information. You can check out all that information in the link in bio, anywhere that you're listening to this podcast or on any of our social medias. And essentially, we're raising this money and we're going to be doing it in the future. Right now, you can sign up. And we have been blown away by all of the support. Over 500 people, nearly $4 million in pledges so far, and it's only going to keep going from here. So thank you to everyone who has pledged, anyone that's signed up, anyone that's supported, retweeted, posted. Let's keep that momentum going and show the world the security token revolution.
Hey, and if you haven't and you like this show, you might want to go check this one out. With that, Kyle, I think we've got a heck of a show lined up. We've got the top 5 thing that everybody needs to know in the space that's happening right now. What's number 1?
Number 1 is Akimona. They are a crowdfunding portal that has officially gone live with their tokenization component. They've been forward thinking the entire way through, and they've now announced that they have 3 companies that they're currently working with who are doing a crowdfunding campaign through their portal and who will also, all of which, be tokenized using the blockchain technology. This is awesome work from Akimona, and we've covered them many times in the past. They're yet again trailblazing.
It's super cool. You don't see too many retail-focused crowdfunding platforms issuing blockchain-based instruments, so congratulations, Akimona, for your success on going live. And now let's get on to number 2. We've got GreenPro-owned CryptoSX, one of the leading digital security token exchanges, and they have landed $1 billion STO, folks. This is a company called Digau, okay, D-I-G-A-U, and they are backed by $6 billion. It's with a B in gold reserves, folks. So if you're interested in getting into a security token backed by gold, this might be your opportunity to do it on CryptoSX.
CryptoSX has now 10 security tokens on their platform. We have a few of them live on STOmarket.com, including a whiskey fund, some retail first shot centers, and some other things as well. Moving into number 3, we've got a Miami tech company. We love to support the Miami tech ecosystem. It certainly has become the crypto capital of the world, and we are here to support it with BetaBlocks. BetaBlocks just raised $1.5 million from E3, Ocean Azul Partners, and SAS Ventures in order to build a white label tokenization platform. They've done all kinds of data privacy and digital asset stuff in the past with other tech companies, and now they're taking it to the next level, focusing specifically on tokenization. We just love to see it.
Welcome to the tokenization game. We definitely got to meet BetaBlocks. Congratulations. And number 4, ADDX and Tokai Tokyo. That's one of the biggest investment banks in Japan. They've got $30 billion in assets under management, over 144 offices, and most recently, regulators gave them an approval, a license to go ahead and issue digital securities. And this is what led the way to this partnership between ADDX, which is actually based in Singapore, if you're not familiar with them. And they're one of the leading exchanges there. So they'll be bridging the 2 countries together, whether it's with investors or with issuers. I think this is tremendous. This is another big move for Asia, Kyle.
Absolutely right. Moving into number 5, we have INX coming in with a big win in scoring a new listing, this time EV Biologics. Now, EV Biologics is a biotech firm that was listed on the OTC markets as a public company. And like we've seen in the past, there are some issues with the OTC markets. You've got naked shorting, you've got inefficient markets, you've got low liquidity, all these serious issues that Biologics was acutely familiar with, and now they are looking to move into the tokenization space to move past some of those issues. So they are going to list on INX, directly citing the naked shorting pressure causing their market cap to be about a third of where they would expect it to be in a competitive and equal market. So this is fascinating to see how this will translate for them and if their thesis is proven correct.
Big win, and I think this could be, if successful, a trend we might see with other companies in a similar situation. And with that, now let's get on to the wonderful and brilliant Jessica Burns with the rest of the security token industry news.
Hi, I'm Jessica Burns, and I'm back with this week's industry updates. We're starting off with the Blockchain Association, one of the crypto industry's largest lobbying groups, which has recently raised $4 million in new funding. Crypto exchange Kraken and digital currency group, Coinbase parent company, both contributed $1 million. Filecoin Foundation contributed $2 million, with the promise of an additional $2 million donation later if the Blockchain Association can raise an equivalent amount through outside funding. The funding round comes as policymakers in Washington, D.C. are weighing in a host of potential regulations for the crypto industry, including possible modifications to crypto-focused provisions in the recently passed bipartisan infrastructure bill. Next, analysts at Metzler Capital Markets believe that it's likely that distributed ledger technology will become the dominant technology in the business of Clearstream, Deutsche Börse, a securities custodian and settlement provider in the future. The Frankfurt-based financial services firm see DLT less as a threat and more of an opportunity, provided that the German exchange acts early and underpins its current market position with a range of distributed technologies. Deutsche Börse, excuse my pronunciation, is already preparing for the phased launch of the new cloud-backed and DLT-ready platform D7, paving the way for the same-day issuance and paperless automatic straight-through processing for the entire value chain of issuance, custody settlement, payment, and asset servicing for digital securities. Last week, we saw that Deca Bank and Metzler Bank have successfully carried out a securities lending transaction without advanced collateralization. This is the first time this has occurred. The transaction was processed using Deca's digital securities platform, SWIAT, Secure Worldwide Interbank Asset Transfer, with technology support from German-based software and consulting company Comyo. SIAT is a blockchain-based platform allowing for security transactions in real time. According to Deca Bank, if both trading partners are in possession of securities in question, a delivery versus delivery trade can take place and the usual hedging is no longer necessary. Counterparty risk and coordination effort is thus reduced between the trading parties. And Tezos says their lead in the security token space is a massive catalyst. Tokenization and securitization are two key catalysts crypto investors should be keeping their eyes on as Tezos takes aim at the security token industry. Tezos is theoretically a Ethereum competitor. The creators believe in multiple chain future where you won't have to rely on just Ethereum, and they predict that you will have different blockchains. That it is said that Tezos has actually a shot at becoming one of these blockchains, specifically as the blockchain for digital assets and security tokens, and assets that want to be securitized on the blockchain or tokenized. Back in the STM offices, the incredible Peter Gaffney has released issue 41 of his series called Tokenize This, where this time he talks about tokenizing air rights. That idea actually came from me, so you're welcome, Peter. You can find his article and more on our website, stomarket.com. That's all I've got for you today. Now let's head over to John for more of the latest STO and market updates.
Yo, what's up, guys? Go ahead, thanks for the lovely industry updates, Jessica. My name is John Pittman, also known as the Token Boy, and I actually have a few security token offered updates for you guys this week. So let's dive right in. Up first, we have CryptoXX back in the update mix again with just yet another STO launch on their platform. This makes number 10 if you're keeping count. So a company called Dignity Corp has just announced that they will be using CryptoXX as its listing and trading platform for its STO. Dignity Corp is a blockchain development company with a goal to use security tokens as a new way of investing in the U.S. precious metals mining and minerals sector. So the security token's value is special because it combines gold reserve backing, the actual mining of the metals, and the creation of a fund in which the token holders will be able to share in the profits. The company at this point already has a minimum of $6 billion in gold reserves within the US, which makes this a billion-dollar STO. Listing this token is awesome because it provides investors with exposure to a lucrative precious mineral sectors within the US. This offer is going to leverage both Reg D and Reg S, meaning this STO will be available to accredited and international investors. Next up, we have Tree Roots Entertainment partnering up with ECXX Global Digital Asset Exchange to launch a security token in Singapore. Tree Roots is a Thai media company, and they're looking to raise at least $100 million through this offering. The funds raised will go towards upcoming projects, including the production of 5 animated movies, 1 animated series, as well as the development of their own live streaming platform. Token holders will receive returns by participating in future profits and plans deriving from the intellectual property rights from the films and also the platform. This offer seems to be very welcome because considering that once VC Plus announced itself as the blockchain advisor on this project, their own shares jumped up a very noticeable 14.3%. Solid. Last up, for our STO updates, we have ABC Token launching an STO to raise capital for a project that will give international investors exposure to U.S. commercial real estate. ABC is an acronym for asset-backed crypto, which is what in our headquarters we like to call a security token. Since the offer is only available to international investors, ABC will only be looking to leverage the Reg S exemption. But this current STO comes on the heels of a previous raise under Reg D, where U.S. investors were able to get involved, and ABC Token was able to raise $3 million for the purchase of commercial real estate. ABC's ultimate plan is to make commercial real estate more accessible and liquid for investors by marrying crypto and commercial real estate investing. I actually covered an STO a couple weeks ago from a company called Red Swan who used a similar model. You know, it's actually pretty amazing seeing these issuers democratize this once hard to access industry. And lastly, for those that missed the Token Board Journal this past week, I covered a few STOs who are leveraging blockchain to create financial incentives for investors and in turn using that raised capital to actually make actionable climate change and restoration. Better believe I have an even better journal lined up for you this Thursday, so make sure you tune in. And if you don't have access to subscribe, my Twitter's at the bottom of the screen. Go to the link in that bio. That wraps up this week's STO update, and keep this up next with your market updates. I hope you guys enjoy your Thanksgiving this week, and as always, I'll see you on the other side of the blockchain.
Welcome back to another weekly secondary market trading segment. If you have not experienced some intense volatility over the past week, you probably have not been trading. As always, all news and pricing data is sourced from STOmarket.com. Today, the total security token market cap is at $1.1 billion, which is an increase of 3.7% from $1.06 billion last time around. Exodus and the Exile token is on the rise this week. It's at $27.34 from $17.50 last time, which is an increase of 56% in price. This is all happening after the announcement of its $2 million buyback program. We also have Overstock rebooting its ascent towards all-time highs after taking a breather on the last show. The token is trading at just under $87 from $81.50 last time, which is an increase of 6.5%, as trading volume also spikes up to 5.5 million from $5 million last week. INX and the INX token remains practically unmoved this week. The token is trading at $1.94 at the time of recording, which is just about a 0.5% decrease in price as volume follows suit. This week, the token reached 2.1 million in weekly trading volume from 2.4 million last week, which is a decrease of 12.5%. We have the market cap between the number 1 and the number 2 security token continuing to widen. We have OSTKO at 378 million. Mount Pelerin. It bounced around in a range. It's in an upward sloping channel, but this week the token is at $7.63. It's down 10%. As well, we have volume up, actually, about 26%. NPS is on the rise as it continues its strength to the upside. T0. That token is actually down this week. It's at $3.99, a modest decline of 2% from $4.10 last week. We also have Real T. With 2 tokens on the move this week, we have one in Cleveland that's up over 30% and one in Detroit that's up 17%, although neither of the tokens really posted significant weekly trading volumes. Moving into our weekly section on tokenized stocks, we have Tesla tokenized shares maintaining weekly trading volumes of 29 million on FTX, which is up a conservative 1%. We also have Alibaba shares. They're back up in volume on FTX. This week, they're at 6.7 million, which is 24% up from 5.4 million last week and 7.3 million last time before that, so down in a range. We have Grayscale. We actually have down in volume this week. We're at 45 million, down 18% versus 55 million on the last show. With that said, it's been a fun week in the markets, and as always, Do your own research and hit me up on Twitter at KeithDLT to send me all your hot takes.
Wakey, wakey. Welcome to Inside the Metaverse with your host, Yves Van Call. We go over the top breaking news relating to the Metaverse weekly. I like to start off with Barbados shooting to become the first sovereign nation with an embassy in the Metaverse. The Caribbean nation is working with multiple Metaverse companies to establish digital sovereign land. The various projects will be assisting with identifying, purchasing land, architecting virtual embassies, developing facilities to provide services such as e-visas, and constructing a teleporter that will allow users to transport their avatars between various worlds. Woo! Come on, baby. A lightweight. Next, Sandbox Metaverse Alpha to launch on November 29th. After 4 years in development. I know, because I have been waiting. Sand prices have surged to a new all-time high as the Sandbox announces its highly anticipated play-to-earn Metaverse event. Next, Disney wants to create its own Metaverse. I don't think I'm allowed to curse, but no, we didn't see this coming. The company that made its money off virtual fictional characters is getting into the Metaverse? What a wild concept. The company's massive collection of original intellectual properties could be an ultimate Metaverse experience. And during a Disney corporate results call, the Disney CEO said that the Walt Disney Company has a long track record as an early adopter in the use of technology to enhance the entertainment experience. And it's official. The Metaverse is here to stay because Time is launching a new newsletter on the Metaverse. And this newsletter will chart the many ways that our new physical and digital selves are becoming more and more intertwined. And in some weeks, I will track the progress that some of the above companies are making towards fulfilling their visions. That was Inside the Metaverse with your host, Yves Van Call.
And moving into the main topic for Security Token Show episode 118, we're going to be asking a very interesting question, which is, should companies be holding crypto on their balance sheet? We'll talk about some that have, maybe some that haven't, and what are the potential benefits or maybe risks of doing so. But before we get into any of that, it's time for our Companies of the Week segment. This is everyone's favorite section where Herwig and I take 2 companies that we saw that made the biggest moves in the industry and give them a special shout out. So without further ado, Herwig, kick it off.
Of course, Kyle, I love this part of the show. I think there's a company that is absolutely worth putting the spotlight on. In this case, I'm talking about Paradigm. Paradigm is actually a venture capital fund. You may not have heard of them before, but you should know that they have quite the track record. We're talking about BlockFi, Fireblocks, Coinbase, FTX, Compound, Uniswap, even Royal, which is that security token platform that we mentioned that's going to be issuing security tokens for artists and royalties and such. So they definitely know what they're talking about when it comes to crypto, which is why they have raised a whopping $2.5 billion fund to continue to invest in crypto. I mean, that is huge, huge validation for the industry. It means we're going to continue to see tons and tons more cash flow into companies trying to develop in this space. And that's what I love. They see a huge future in Web3. And whether it be security tokens or everything else in between in crypto, we know that $2.5 billion is going to get invested wisely. So congratulations. This is a huge raise for Matt Huang there. Congratulations to the entire team. You're my Company of the Week, Paradigm.
Well done. Congrats to Paradigm. My Company of the Week is one, Herwig, that we've heard a lot in the public markets. It's a really big business at this point, and it's one that I think was almost kind of irrelevant maybe 18 to 24 months ago, considering how things have changed, but now is thrust into the spotlight. That is AMC. Now, AMC, obviously, with the GameStop cycle that happened, they had a ton of short stock pressure, right? They had a ton of these naked shorts that were causing the stock to be over-shorted, that caused some serious problems in our public markets. And they're my Company of the Week because of the fact that there's some word on the street, some island winds, that potentially they are considering doing a tokenized dividend. Similar to how we saw with Overstock, which was feeling some serious short seller pressure. then released a security token dividend that led to a 15x gain from the company from there. This is a potentially great opportunity. We know that Mark Cahodes, who was leading that charge with Overstock, has been very vocal for T0 and some of these other platforms, has been the main man behind the scenes trying to make this happen with the CEO of AMC. This guy knows how it works and has seen it successful. So AMC this week is my company of the week.
Kyle, that's a great choice. That'd be a huge move. I think it's apt for our topic today. With companies like AMC moving into the security token space, that would be huge validation. I have to say it, Overstock is, of course, a great public e-commerce furniture company, but AMC is a well-known, recognized brand around the country, and their popcorn gimmick was cool. But now if they pull off this security token dividend, well, now that is something else.
518 million shares outstanding, so that would $20 billion market cap to date. So that would be pretty exciting.
Now let's switch the gears ever so slightly, Kyle. When it comes to talking about companies in crypto, we're specifically talking this time around on our episode today about specifically holding Bitcoin or Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies on your balance sheet. Tesla and other public companies have made huge waves in the past, but most recently, Time Magazine made a huge announcement. They're actually holding on to Ethereum as well. So this is part of a deal with Galaxy Digital, a part of an educational deal. They're actually going to be launching a whole Newsweek magazine in the Metaverse. They're going to be educating people about the Metaverse. And in this case, as part of the payment in terms, they're actually receiving Ethereum that they plan to hold onto the blockchain. Now, what does that mean for Time Magazine, Kyle? That's what we're here to talk about.
Yeah, this is fascinating. We're starting to see this evolution. Maybe over the past 5 or 10 years, we've started to see corporate VCs and companies that are actually looking to launch investment sides of their business. And especially in the last 18 months where cash has been so cheap to acquire, this idea of having companies actually becoming asset managers is becoming more and more popular. And what better way to do it than in crypto? So we're seeing this opportunity where, I think it's a similar kind of conversation around, a traditional or normal retail investor, some individual, where they're trying to get skin in the game, right? A company like Time is trying to figure out how they can get involved in the metaverse, what all this stuff means. The best way to do it is to just begin transacting, to begin holding some of this stuff and get more familiar with what's going on.
I think that's absolutely right. I mean, now the fact is that they actually could be experimenting. They have this on balance sheet to play around with and use for research and development purposes. As we can see, they're launching into the metaverse. So when a company adopts cryptocurrency, it may not be just for an investment purpose. It may actually be a good thing for the underlying business. But as we do know, as we've seen with other companies holding Bitcoin, it tends to be much more like an investment function, right, Kyle?
Right, for sure. You're looking at MicroStrategy or Tesla, Square, all of whom have thousands of Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And again, that's maybe the difference when we're talking about Bitcoin versus something like an Ethereum purchase, right? If you're buying Bitcoin, really Bitcoin, the main argument there is it's digital gold, right? It's not anything more, but it's certainly not anything less, right? And that's kind of the argument there. Whereas with something like Ethereum, you might be buying it in order to explore how to leverage smart contracts or how to operate within the ecosystem in a way that you can actually spend that inside of their ecosystems and inside of the metaverse.
I think that's a huge differentiator. But of course, Ethereum can also have a long-term impact. So it'll be interesting to see if Time actually ends up selling their Ethereum or just holding on to it, or if other companies actually start to follow suit. It actually makes for an interesting case, right, Kyle? You have a financial product. That's what a business is. Their job is to service X, or sell Y product. But now when you have a company and you match in cryptocurrency, just like Ethereum or Bitcoin, it could be just like saying, look, we're also going to, spend some money holding on to gold or silver. So now you've got this interesting financial product. This the risk profile one would consider when investing has now changed as a result of holding on to that cryptocurrency. Would you agree?
Yeah, and I think it's interesting that they're working with Galaxy Digital here. And this further proves that point of, while I think a lot of companies can understand the value proposition of crypto, actually owning the crypto itself or having to custody or manage it themselves is still still something that I think a lot of institutions as well as individuals maybe don't want. They don't want to have to worry about wallets. They don't want to have to worry about cold storage or where they're going to put it, or if they can lose their MetaMask wallet or lose or misplace their keys. They don't have to worry about any of that. Potentially the other side of the coin here is that this is more demand for, securities level products and custodians and things like that can give the exposure that these institutions want while not, leaving it up to risk of losing it to custody.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a big issue. That might be what's preventing many other companies from getting involved and holding cryptocurrencies of any kind onto their balance sheet. In fact, one of the things that I noted here is that, of course, Time is owned by Mark Benioff, which is the co-founder or one of the founders of Salesforce. So he's a billionaire. Salesforce is a public company, whereas Time is, of course, privately owned by him. So it may not have much of an impact. I think for the cryptocurrency industry, it's big news. We've got a big major media company adopting Ethereum onto its balance sheet as well as within its sort of service provision. So I think it's very, very big deal. But on the other end, could Salesforce be next? Could they be also doing Ethereum? This is now a major public company, probably I think maybe one of the first to publicly hold Ethereum on its balance sheet as well. So I think that could also have potentially interesting dynamics for the investment landscape.
Absolutely right. And especially with the fact that spot ETFs still don't appear to be right around the corner. You've got companies like MicroStrategy that own 114,000 Bitcoin. It's about 0.5% of the total circulating supply that they own. And you might potentially start to see companies understand this is a value proposition where they could potentially act as a pseudo, ETF of actually owning Bitcoin in a way for more retail investors to get access. Salesforce could be another company that sees the value there.
That's a great example, Kyle. I mean, that's what happens when I think, I see a company adding cryptocurrencies to their balance sheet. What does it mean? How this will affect others in their industry? How will this affect them? Does this give them a competitive advantage now? And that's an interesting line of thinking because, of course, naturally, most people might think, why don't they stay focused on media? That's their name, that's their bread and butter. And now you add this angle of cryptocurrency, and who knows, now it actually might prove to be an advantage because their investment gives them greater return, which means more cash to use for their business. Or perhaps, as we see with Time Magazine and other places, they might actually incorporate some of this functionality and application within their business to also give them an edge over their competition. So I don't know about you, but to review, I think there's a lot every time a major company like Time Magazine announces that they're getting involved in cryptocurrency. We see the cryptocurrency industry have more confidence and validation. They get excited. The assets typically that are being purchased have more demand behind them, or at least more confidence. For Wall Street, we at the same time see more confidence that, hey, institutions and companies alike, they're getting interested in cryptocurrency. This is a wave that cannot be stopped. We better start to learn this. We better start to evaluate and consider companies that are actually getting involved into this stuff. And I think for the companies themselves, it's a learning experience. They're recognizing that this is a brand new opportunity to leverage technology, potentially gain a competitive advantage. At the very least, who knows, potentially make some money with investment.
Absolutely right. All those investment side pieces are fantastic and exciting. And then there's the other side of them actually launching Metaverse style content and engaging with Web3 and the future of all of this stuff. As we like to say around here, security tokens are the stock market of the Metaverse. We are perfectly positioned to take advantage of anything that these companies come out with. And that's just everything in a nutshell. Blockchain is fascinating. Another great episode. Thanks to everybody watching. We'll catch you next week for sure. Anything else we got to cover?
No, I don't think so, Kyle. I just want to let you know that we're always available for feedback, for questions and suggestions. We're on Twitter and on LinkedIn. We're always available. You can check out the website, stomarket.com, for all the trading news, activity, updates, and information. And of course, as always, check out the link in bio to go learn more about our crowdfunding campaign.
We'll talk to you next week. Happy Thanksgiving.
And happy tokenizing.